Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for coming back. In my previous video, I talked about how most foreigners are currently immigrating to Canada through the Canada Visitor Visa. I talked about everything you need to know to be able to use the visa to immigrate to Canada, get a job offer, and then apply for a work permit. With a work permit, you can prolong your stay beyond the usual 6-month validity that a visitor's visa comes with. If you have not seen that video, it is very essential that you watch it. I advise that you watch it first, before coming back to this video. You can click the link up on your screen or in the description box of this video to watch the video. However, in this video, I will be taking you through the application process. I will be showing you practically how to fill out the application form, answer all the application questions, and upload the necessary documents for a Canada Visitor Visa. Ensure you do not skip any part of this video, because if you do, you might get confused at some point in the application process, and make sure you watch to the very end. You do not need an immigration agent or travel expert to be able to submit a Canada Visitor Visa application. With this guide, you can go through the process all by yourself. So, stick with me while I take you through the application process. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, kindly do so. We have lots of more informative videos coming, so it will also be nice if you click the notification bell to be notified whenever we have a new upload. Thank you. So, without wasting time, let's get right into the application process. The application for a Canadian Visitor Visa is done on the website of the Government of Canada. To visit the website, open a Google search page and search for canada.ca. You will be directed to the Government of Canada's official website. Then, depending on your language, choose the one that applies to you. Here, I will select English, and you will be brought to this page. Then scroll down and click on Immigration and Citizenship. You will be directed to this page. Since we are applying for a visitor's visa, scroll down and click on Visit. And this page will display. Scroll down on the page and click on Apply for a visitor's visa. You will be directed to this page, which contains all the information you need to know regarding a visitor's visa. Take your time to read through the entire page. You will get information about what the visa is about, the steps to apply, who can apply, supporting documents, the application itself, and what happens after you have applied. All the necessary sections of this page are important, so make time to read them. However, since the purpose of this video is to show how to apply, we click on Apply. You will be directed to this page. Scroll down, and you will be required to answer a few questions. The first question here is, why are you applying for a visitor's visa? There are several options provided. You are to answer, depending on the reason you require the visa. If the reason for the visit is not among the options listed, then click on the last option, which is none of the above. For the sake of this video, the reason for our visit is tourism. If the reason for your visit is tourism, then you are to select option 2, which is to visit on business. Select the option and then click on Get Instructions. Read through the instructions stated on the page. It reads, to apply for a visitor visa to visit Canada on business, you need to qualify as a business visitor. To qualify, you must show that you plan to stay for less than 6 months. You don't plan to enter the Canadian labor market, and Your main place of business and source of income and profits is outside Canada. Business visitor activities include business meetings, special events, or training for a few days or weeks. When you are done, click on Yes, I qualify as a business visitor. On clicking that, another section of the page pops up, which reads, You need to apply for a visitor visa through the IRCC portal. Now, click on the icon below it, which reads, How to apply for a visitor visa through the IRCC portal. This page will be displayed. If you already have an IRCC account, simply click on Sign In, but if this is your first time, click on Sign Up and Apply. This page will be displayed. You will be required to indicate whether you are applying for a visitor visa for yourself, on behalf of someone else, or for yourself and on behalf of someone else. For example, you may be applying for your sibling, or for yourself and your husband or wife. So, choose whichever applies to you. For the sake of this video, I will select the first option, which is to apply for a visitor visa for myself. You will be directed to this page. On this page, select what applies to you. Do you already have an application process? If you have started an application before now, you will have to select Yes, but if this is your first time, your answer should be No. Since this is our first time, we select No. Here, it says, We'll contact you within 14 to 30 business days of getting your complete application. We won't respond to inquiries if your application was submitted within 30 business days. Now, proceed by clicking on Get an IRCC portal account, and you will be directed to this page. You are required to provide your email address, which will help create an invitation code that you will need to sign up for an account. So, type in your email address and confirm the email address as well, then click on Get Invitation Code. An IRCC invitation code will be displayed. Copy the code by clicking on Copy to Clipboard by the side of the code. Then click on Continue to go to the IRCC portal sign-up page. On the sign-up page, you will be required to paste the copied invitation code and input your email address. Then you have to choose a password and confirm the password as well. The password must be at least 8 characters, no more than 15 characters, and must include at least one uppercase letter, one lowercase letter, one special character, and one numeric digit. Next, you have to enter your surname and then your given name. Next, you have to put in your phone number. You should type in your country code first, before your phone number. When you are done, click on Continue. A verification code will be sent to your email. Go to your email. A verification code will be sent to your email. Go to your email and retrieve the code, then return to this page and enter the code in the space provided. Then, click on Confirm. Your email will be confirmed. Next, you have to sign into your account. So, input your email and password and sign into your account. You will be directed to a Terms and Conditions page. Read through, and if you agree to the terms and conditions, then click I accept. You will be redirected to your IRCC portal account. Read through the information on this page. When you are done, then scroll down and start an application by clicking on Apply for a visitor visa, transit visa, or study permit. You will be redirected here. Read through the information on this page, and when you are done, tick the acknowledgement box and click on Start Application. This page will be displayed. Answer the question here. Do you want to apply for more than one person at the same time? For example, you want to submit an application for yourself plus your spouse and children, who will travel with you or join you later during your stay in Canada. In this case, I am applying for myself. So, I will choose No. Then click on Save and Continue. The following page shows up. Tick on the option here that applies. I want to apply for a. Choose a visitor visa or a super visa. When you select a visitor visa, another question shows up: why do you need a visa? There are several options here. Select the one that applies to your case. In this case, I will select the option that reads to visit Canada as a tourist. The next question is, tell us more about what you'll do in Canada. Include dates. You are expected to summarize the reason for your visit to Canada. For example, in this case, I could write the following. Visiting Canada for tourism from September 2nd to September 14th, 2023. The next question is, when will you enter Canada? Here, we chose September 20th, 2023. The next question is, when will you leave Canada? We chose September 14th, 2023. If you have filled out a similar form in the past, you will have been given a unique client identifier, which is a number. So, you can input the number in the space provided. But if this is your first time, ignore it. Click on Save and Continue. The page will be displayed. This page contains information on the documents you require to apply for a visitor visa for tourism. So, the main document you need is a valid passport or travel document. You must have at least one free page where we can stick your visitor visa. It also states that you may need other documents, depending on how you answer the questions in the application. The information you need to enter for your application is personal details, travel document details, finances, education history, criminality and security, medical background, family information. It also states that you may need to give us more information depending on how you answer the questions in the application. When you are done reading the page, click Save and Continue. This page is to check for representation. Answer the question as it applies to you. Are you applying on behalf of someone else? If you're preparing an application for someone else, you're a representative. To be someone's representative, you must provide the right forms to show you have their permission to handle their application for them. In this case, I am applying for myself, so I will answer no to the question. Then click on Save and Continue. On the page that follows, you are to fill in the travel document information of the applicant. You are to fill in your surname, given name, date of birth, and gender. You are expected to write your name exactly as it appears on your passport or identity document. You should also select your date of birth exactly as it appears on your passport. For the purpose of this video, my surname is John, and my name is James. My date of birth will be September 11th, 1980, and my sex should be female. Click on Save and Continue to go to the next page. Here, you need to provide information about the type of travel document. So, answer the question, what document are you traveling with? You are required to select a passport. The next question is what type of passport. Choose the type of passport that applies to you. For most of us, we use the regular passport. However, if your passport is not a regular passport, then you can select the option that relates to your passport type. Next, select the country code that matches the one on your passport. For this video, I will select India. Select your country from the list as it applies to you. The next question is, what's the nationality on your passport? I will also select India here. So, you also select the country that applies to you. The next question is, what's your passport or travel document number? So, I will type in this number as my passport number. Fill out your passport number and also confirm the number by typing it in the next space provided. Next, you are to provide the date of issue and date of expiration of your passport or travel document. I will select June 5, 2021 as the date of issue and the date of expiry as June 4, 2026. We move on to the next question. It says, are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States with a valid green card, alien registration card? Answer the question as it applies. In this case, I will answer no. Next, have you held a Canadian visitor visa in the past 10 years? In this case, the answer is no. The next question says, do you currently hold a valid U.S. non-immigrant visa? I will answer no to this question as well. The next is, are you traveling to Canada by air? You also have to answer as it applies to you. In this case, the answer is yes. Having answered all the questions on this page, click Save and Continue. The next section of questions is for citizenship and places where the applicant has lived. Answer the question as it applies to you. In this case, I will use India. Next is the city or town where you were born. I will fill in for Kolkata. The next question is, are you a citizen of more than one country or territory? In my case, the answer is no. Next, which country or territory are you a citizen of? My answer to this is also India. So, select the country that applies to you for this question. Next, if you have been a citizen of the country you selected since birth, then tick the box that reads, I am a citizen of this country or territory since birth. If you check the box, the date that follows will autofill. But if you are not a citizen by birth, leave the box unticked and fill in the date you became a citizen of the country you selected. Having done that, click on Save and Continue. The next is information on the national identity document of the applicant. The question here is, do you have a valid national identity document? If you do, answer yes, and if you don't, answer no. For this video, I will answer yes. Then, you will be asked to provide information about the document. Fill in the document number. So, I will fill in 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and confirm the number as well. I will repeat the number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Next, select the date of issue. So, I will select April 1st, 2020. Then, select the country or territory that issued this document. I will choose India too. Then click on Save and Continue. Next are the names used in the past. Answer the question as it applies to you. Have you used another name in the past? In this case, I will answer no. But if you have changed names, answer yes, and you will be asked about the old name. When you are done, click Save and Continue. The next section is on the contact information of the applicant. countries or territories of residence. What's your residential address? This is the address where you currently live. Select a country or territory. In this case, I will choose India. Next, provide a street address. You are to enter the address, including the house number or building number, if applicable. So, I will fill in 13, Sansa Street. Next is the city or town. I will choose Kolkata. Then put in the postal code, which is optional. So, I will fill in 1234. Next question says, is your mailing address the same as your residential address? Answer as it applies to you. In this case, I will choose yes. If you choose no, you will be asked to fill in your mailing address. Next question says, list your current country or territory of residence, then add all other countries or territories where you've lived for the past 5 years or for more than 6 months. So, click the Add button and fill in the countries you have lived in as they apply to you. You can add multiple countries by clicking the Add icon after filling out each one. In this case, I have only lived in India, so I will only fill in India. What is your status in your country or territory of residence? I will select Citizens. Select the one that applies to you. Next, select the time you started living in the country selected. Next, if you currently live there, select the next box that reads, "This is where I currently live." Then click on Save. And then click on Save and Continue. The following section is about the biometrics, fingerprints, and photo of the applicant. It reads, do we already have your fingerprints and photo, biometrics, and are they still valid? Required. Answer yes only if you gave your biometrics in the past 10 years for a visitor visa, study, or work permit application, and know that your biometrics are still valid. If you're not sure, find out if your biometrics are still valid. In this case, I will answer no. Answer as it applies to you. It then says, you will be required to submit your biometrics after you pay the biometrics fee and submit your application. Note, some people may be fee exempt. Click on Save and Continue. The next section is about finances. It asks, how much money do you have for your stay in Canada? In Canadian dollars CAD. State the amount of money you have for the visit. This is very important. The more money you declare, the better. However, you should state the amount that you can provide evidence for. So, in this case, I will put $8,000. This does not mean that you cannot provide less than that. The next question is someone else giving you money for your stay in Canada? You should answer this question as it applies. If you have any support from someone or if you have a close relative sponsoring the visit, you can answer yes. In this case, I will answer no. If you answer yes, you will be asked to provide details. After completing this, click Save and Continue. The next section is about information about education, work, and other activities. The first question is, have you ever studied at a post-secondary school, university, college, or vocational school? You don't need to have completed a degree or diploma. Answer this question as it applies to you. If you answer yes, you will be asked to give details of each program you have studied or are currently studying. To do that, you have to click the Add icon and give details about each qualification. In this case, I will answer no to save time. The next question is, did you serve in any military, militia, civil defense unit, security organization, or police force, including non-obligatory service, reserve, or voluntary units? If your answer is yes, you will also be required to provide details about it. In this case, I will answer no. Next, you are asked to provide details of all your employment and activities for the past 10 years. This is very important because it shows that you have ties to your home countries. So be diligent about filing this out. To provide information, click on the Add icon. You are required to provide details of all your work experience. Provide information about all the places you have worked, the period you worked there, the work/activity, job title, the company name or name of your employer, the main duties of the job, and the address of the company. If the job you are filling is your current job, tick the box that reads Ongoing. You can see that for this job I am filling, I tick the box, which shows it is my current job. For a job you did previously, you will be required to provide the end date as well. For the sake of this video, I will just type in random information. But be diligent in filling out this section of the form because it will go a long way to showing if you have something productive and important you are doing in your home country that is enough to make you return after the 6-month duration of the visitor visa. After entering all the needed information, click Save. To add other previous jobs, click on Add, and follow the same process as well. You can add as many jobs as you have done in the past and present. When you are done, click Save and Continue. The next section is Travel History. You have to provide details of the countries you have visited in the past 5 years. The question says, during the past 5 years, have you traveled to a country or territory other than the one where you're a citizen or where you live now? Answer the question as it applies to you. If your answer is yes, you will be asked to provide information about all the places. To do so, click on Add, and then you can add the information. However, if you have not visited any other country or territory, your answer should be no. Then you can click Save and Continue. The next question is, have you ever stayed in Canada beyond the validity of your status, attended school in Canada without authorization, or worked in Canada without authorization? You should make sure you are truthful about the answer here, because they have your records. So, tick the answer that applies to you. The next one is, have you ever been refused a visa or permit, denied entry to, or ordered to leave any country or territory? Also, provide an answer to this question as it applies to you. When you are done, click Save and Continue. The next set of questions is about criminality and security. Read through the questions carefully and answer them as they apply to you. When you are done filling out all the questions, click Save and Continue. The security question continues. Read these and provide answers as they apply to you as well. When you are done, click Save and Continue. The next section of questions is on medical background. The question says, have you had a medical exam performed by an IRCC authorized panel physician, doctor, within the last 12 months? If your answer is yes, you will be required to provide your Immigration Medical Examination Number, IME, or Unique Medical Identifier Number, UMI. If your answer is no, then tick the box, click Save, and Continue. The next question is about any history of contact with or diagnosis of tuberculosis. Read the questions and answer them as they apply to you, then click Save and Continue. The next set of questions are about dialysis, drugs, alcohol, or syphilis. Read through the questions and answer as they apply to you. When you are done, click Save and Continue. The next section of questions is about family information. Read through and answer. Here, it says, what is your current marital status? Answer as it applies. If you select single, you will not be asked any further questions, and then you can click Save and Continue. If your answer is any of the other options, you will be asked to provide information about the relationship and your partner, whether current or past. Read through all the questions on the page about your partner and answer them accurately. I have provided hypothetical answers to the questions here. The last question on this page says, will your spouse/common law partner accompany you to Canada? If you are going alone, click No, but if both of you are going, click Yes. Then click on Save and Continue. Next, you will be asked for information about your children, if any. The first question says, do you have any biological, adopted, or stepchildren? If your answer is yes, you will be required to provide information about each of them. To do so, click on the Add icon and fill up the form provided for each of them, one by one. The last question also asks, if the child is not in Canada, will they accompany you to Canada? Answer accordingly. When you are done, click Save. For this video, I will select No to the question about children. When you tick No, you will be asked to tick a box to show that you understand that you are not declaring any natural, adopted, or stepchildren. When you have done that, click Save and Continue. Next, you will be asked to provide information about your parents. To do so, you have to click on the Add icon. This form will appear, and you have to provide information about each of them separately. At the end of the form, you also have to answer whether they will be traveling with you to Canada or not. After that, click on Save and proceed to add your second parent. For the sake of this video, I will click on the box for I don't know who my parents are. That answer is for those who probably never got to meet their parents. After clicking on that box, you can click on Save and Continue. The next section is for the language of the applicant. The first question says, what is your native language or mother tongue? Select the language that applies to you. In this case, I will select Hindi. The next question says, can you communicate in English and/or French? Answer as it applies to you. I will select English for this question. The last question here says, what language do you want us to use to contact you? Choose whichever language you prefer. Here, I will select English as well. Then click on Save and Continue. The next is the email address of the applicant. So, provide your email address and also confirm the address. When you are done typing the email in the spaces provided, click on Save and Continue. The next is the telephone number of the applicant. To add it, click on the Add icon and fill out the form accordingly. Choose the telephone type and the country or territory, then fill in the dial code and telephone number. When you are done, click on Save. You can add more numbers if you have. After adding, click on Save and Continue. At this stage, you have completed the form. Now, you can review your answers and correct any ones you think you have filled incorrectly or inappropriately. To review, read through, or correct your answer, click on the edit icon on the side of the section of the question you wish to review. You can correct any section. When you are done with that, or if you are satisfied with all the information you have provided, then scroll down and click on Save and Continue. The next thing to do is provide the documents to support your application. You will be required to upload the documents on this page. The documents needed to support your application are: National Identity Document, Passport or travel document, Proof of funds, which should be a bank statement. The other documents, which are optional, that you submit are: Consent to personal information. You are to complete this form only if you authorize IRCC and the Canada Border Services Agency to release information from your case file to someone other than yourself. This is often necessary if you are using an immigration agency or expert to facilitate the visa processing. Employer letter. Additional documents. This could include a statement of purpose or explanation letter, where you explain in detail your plan for the tourism trip. You should include all the information about the trip, including where you plan to visit, what you do back in your home country, and any other information you can add. It is also under this additional document section that you have to upload all your flight itinerary and any relevant documents. It is better to submit more documents relevant to your trip than fewer. For the sake of completion, I will upload some symbolic documents. When you are done uploading, click Save and Continue. The next section is for consent and declaration. Read through the information on this page, and if you agree to it, answer yes to the consent question. Then fill in your surname and given name, and then scroll down and click on Save and Continue. And the next thing you will be expected to do at this stage is make payment for the visitor visa. The total cost of $185 is expected to be paid before you can submit the application. The total cost covers the cost of the visitor visa, which is $100, and the cost of biometrics, which is $85. All in Canadian dollars. When you are ready to make a payment with your debit or credit card, click Save and Continue. You will be redirected to this page, where you will be asked to type in the card details and make the payment. After making payment, you will be directed to a consent and declaration page. You are required to read through the consent and declaration, and if you agree to what is stated on it, you click on I accept. After this, you will be asked to submit or review your application. If you are sure that you have accurately filled out the forms, then you can submit the application, but if you are not sure, you can review whichever section you wish to review, and make the appropriate correction. This step completes the application process. To confirm submission, you will receive an email in your inbox stating that your application has been successfully submitted. You can also view the status of your application by revisiting your account homepage. That is the end of the application process. Then you can wait for a response from IRCC. Remember that after you have successfully submitted your application, you will get a response from the IRCC within 14 to 30 business days. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, kindly like the video. Give it a thumbs up to encourage us to do more. If you have any questions or comments, you can type them in the description box of this video, and I will definitely get back to you soon. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so as to enjoy more of our upcoming videos. Also, hit your notification bell so as to be notified whenever we have a new upload. Thank you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.